It was a warm Sunday morning in a small town in Texas. Inside a small house on Maple Street, a 7-year-old girl named Lily was sitting at the kitchen table, scribbling something on a piece of paper with a purple crayon. Her father Tom walked in from the backyard, wiping grease from his hands. He was a mechanic, a hardworking honest man who never missed a day of work in his life. His hands were rough and calloused, but when he held his daughter's hand she always said they felt like the safest place in the world. Tom peeked over her shoulder and asked what she was writing. Lily quickly folded the paper and pressed it against his chest right over his heart and told him it was a letter for him but that he could not read it yet. Tom smiled and asked when he could read it. Lily pointed her little finger at him and said, "When I am a big star, Daddy, you read it then." Tom laughed and carefully tucked the letter into the front pocket of his shirt right over his heart and told her it was a deal. She asked him to promise and he said he promised, and Tom never broke a promise in his life. Their life was simple but full of love. Tom raised Lily on his own after her mother left when Lily was just 3 years old. He worked double shifts at the garage, packed her school lunches every morning, and showed up to every school play and every recital without fail. When teachers told him Lily was too much of a dreamer, he would nod politely and then lean down to her in the hallway and whisper, "You keep singing, Bug, don't let anybody take that from you." Every morning on the way to school they would sing together in the car, completely off-key and completely happy. Those were the golden years and neither of them knew how precious those simple ordinary mornings truly were. By the time Lily was 17 her voice had grown into something that stopped people in their tracks. Warm and powerful, the kind of voice that made strangers feel like they were finally being understood. She won every local competition and people across the country were sharing her videos online. And Lily felt that deep burning pull towards something bigger than her small town could hold. The night before she left for Nashville, Tom made her favorite dinner and they sat at the same kitchen table where she had written that letter 10 years before. She told him she was terrified and he told her that terrified means it matters. She grabbed his hand and promised she would make him so proud. He squeezed her hand and said, "Baby girl, you have been making me proud since the day you were born." Nashville was everything she had been warned about. Lily arrived with 2 suitcases, $1,200, and a voice that could shake walls. She worked 2 jobs, went to open mic nights after double shifts, and was rejected over and over again. But every Sunday without fail her father called and asked how his star was doing. When she told him about the rejections and the loneliness and the nights she cried in her car, he always said the same thing. He told her to keep going because the world was not ready for her yet, but that it would be. His voice on those Sunday calls was the only thing that kept her standing. Slowly things began to change. She met a songwriter who believed in her and together they wrote songs that were raw and honest and real. Her videos began spreading online and a record label came calling. On a Tuesday afternoon 3 years after arriving in Nashville with almost nothing, Lily signed her first record deal. She called her father immediately and the moment she told him the news there was silence on the other end. And then she heard something she had never heard before in her entire life. Her father was crying. Not sad crying, but the kind that only comes when your heart is so full it has nowhere else to go. He told her through tears that he had always known it. But success is louder than everything else. Lily's life became a blur of studio sessions, tours, interviews, and magazine covers. The Sunday calls became once a month and then almost never. When he called she was always rushing somewhere. She told him she had rehearsals, that she was in a meeting, that she would call him back. He never complained. He never said, "You never call anymore." He just said, "Okay sweetheart, I am proud of you," every single time. What Lily did not know was that Tom had stopped going to the garage months ago, that his neighbor had started bringing him groceries, and that he spent his evenings sitting in his armchair looking at old photographs and smiling at the one of a 7-year-old girl handing him a folded piece of paper. He still had that letter. He carried it everywhere. Still unread. Still waiting. He had told his sister not to say a word to Lily because he said she was finally living her dream and he would not be the thing that stopped her. It was a Thursday morning when Lily's phone rang. She was in the middle of a soundcheck for her biggest concert yet when her Aunt Carol's name appeared on the screen. Something made her step off the stage and answer. Carol told her that her father had suffered a stroke 3 weeks ago. Lily felt the ground disappear beneath her feet. She demanded to know why nobody had called her, and Carol told her through tears that Tom had made them all promise not to because he knew about her showcase and did not want to interrupt it. He had said she had worked too hard for that. Lily drove through the night, 10 hours straight, replaying every call she had cut short and every Sunday she had let slip by without a word. She walked into room 114 at 5 in the morning still wearing her stage clothes. Tom was lying in the hospital bed, smaller than she remembered, surrounded by tubes and monitors. But when he heard the door open he turned his head, and when he saw her face he smiled. That same warm smile from Sunday mornings and off-key car rides and fried chicken dinners. He whispered, "There she is, my star." Lily rushed to his side and took his hand and told him she was so sorry, that she should have been there, that she had been selfish and had forgotten what truly mattered. He shook his head slowly and told her she had not forgotten, that she had been living, and that living was all he had ever wanted for her. After a long quiet moment he told her to open her purse. She reached in and felt something small and soft. And there it was. A tiny folded piece of paper worn at the edges, its creases deep from years of being carefully unfolded and refolded. She could not believe he had carried it all this time, and he told her he had kept it every single day waiting for her to tell him it was time. She whispered for him to read it now. With trembling hands Tom opened that letter for the very first time. Inside in faded purple crayon in the messy handwriting of a 7-year-old girl it said, "Daddy, I love you. You are already my hero. You don't have to wait." Tom closed his eyes, and the smile that crossed his face was the most peaceful thing Lily had ever seen in her life. He passed away the following evening with that letter resting on his chest and his daughter holding his hand. Lily did become a star. She stood on stages larger than she ever dreamed and heard crowds cheer her name across the country. But at every single concert she told this story. The story of a mechanic from a small town in Texas with rough calloused hands and a soft enormous heart who carried a little girl's letter close to his chest for 20 years without ever reading it. And every time the lights dimmed and she sang the song she had written for him she looked up at the sky. Because the only applause that had ever truly mattered came from one man on Maple Street who believed in her before she believed in herself. Asterisk, never get so busy chasing your dreams that the people who love you become strangers. Call them. Visit them. Love them while you still can. If this story touched your heart, please share it with someone you love today. Asterisk.